Tonight, from Seattle, Washington, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Jameis Winston and the Seattle Seahawks versus Tua Tagovailoa and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, the city of Seattle known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild Lumen Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And they've lost three straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost three straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Steelers, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A little costly there. You wipe out the first down. You also move further back.
No doubt about it. So you went from moving the sticks to them staying in the same spot, except for that one guy carrying the yard marker. He moves back farther.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Throwing again on second down. Winston, that's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Jameis to throw it. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 56 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game.
always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So a nice run right there, and worth mentioning their usual starting running back out this week. The hope is it's just a short-term absence, but this is where it pays, Charles, to have a quality reserve that you can turn to when you need it.
And to me, they definitely have that because this is a guy who's more than capable of picking up the slack. And he's likely going to see a big share of carries as this one progresses. And how many times do we see running backs jump into the breach and have big games?
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Looking to pass. Tua. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They hand this off to Harris. And some room to run now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They begin with Michelle on the ground, and not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Winston now. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. He topped the 200-yard mark a week ago. You know they're going to have a lot of eyes and hopefully for them bodies on him here in this one.
You've got to expect defensively, forget 8 men in the box. 9, 10,
11?
Hey, listen, they'll try to sneak you and me in there to try and slow him down, but I bet his offensive line mates are going to accept that challenge. They really like blocking for a guy who can churn up that kind of yardage.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
46 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. This is Harris. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And the catch made by Johnson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he will have a Steelers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find... way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Hands it off out of the gun. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he gets it up past the 35.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Working out of the gun. Winston. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Winston. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way down to the 5. A big play that time on the catch and run. No score after 1 on EA Sports. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Michel again. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Zerline's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. And he has enjoyed some solid groundwork, and some good holes have been created by the guys up front.
Almost get the sense that their game plan is working to perfection, that what they worked on in practice all week, they've just translated and taken it out onto the field in this ball game. And boy, they're liking what they're seeing.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now it's Lockett. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Here's Winston. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup there.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Jameis now on first down. He'll find Metcalf. A gain of 6 there on first. Second down and 4. On the handoff, it's Michel. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. From the gun, Winston. And this a quick slant to Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. To throw, Winston. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal. They'll run here on third and goal. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. Fourth down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so because the run has been very effective for them.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And that will be incomplete. Not much going on. This drive looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable for Lockett. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Beckham. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. Tua, a final shot before half. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Sam Darnold, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Trey Lance, strong in the victory, as his guys looked better than a team that had won just 1 game coming in. And then on Monday night, folks, you are in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots. In our game has been Jameis Winston, who's been on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, He definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run with Samaje's younger cousin. This is LaMichael Pirine. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, this will be McFarland. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run on first down. Harris. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Well, this red zone is where the Seahawk crowd really makes it tough for an offense to communicate. It's 3rd down. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 84 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is down to 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure,
Because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. Left side complete to Lockett. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down. Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play, because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
On 2nd and goal, Winston throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. On 2nd down now, it's Harris, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. From the gun, it's Tua. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. They go play action. Winston. Now he's forced out left. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Winston now to throw on first down. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give. This is Michelle. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing, Winston. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
2nd and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Now they set up a screen for McFarland. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw taken in by Hockenson here. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. From the 30 on 2nd down. Tua going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Again, it's Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Steelers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off at the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On 1st down, Michel. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. it's Michel once again. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 19-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Winston. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Pick. Xavier Howard. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback in a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. Connecting with Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And that is incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And it is incomplete. I had a defender running right with him, and now it's third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Again, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his third of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on. Back to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. They'll look to throw again. Quick completion here to Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He dumps this off underneath to McFarland. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Dancing to his left. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. Oh, and I think they got it. Yes, the Steelers have it. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.